Hello. I'll just wait for people to come in, see if anyone's there today. I should really put these up in advance. So see how this one's going, doing it on the phone. Computer problems, needless to say. Hi Matt. I'm coming a bit closer, I can see the screen. That's great. Just saying, you're just going to wait a minute or two for anyone else to come along in. And going to be, hi Rachel. Going to Australia, lovely. And Dustin, good. And Matt, great. That's lovely. Going to be just talking about paper pattern making. So thought I would, hi George, just talk about making paper patterns. So basically, background on this. Hi Judith, hi Mark. I want to make a leather tool roll. So in isolation here. So I thought, stay indoors, do all the right things. I've got a nice bit of shoulder here. So there you are, nice bit of shoulder, quite thick veg tan. It's about 3.5 mil, 1/8 inch plus. And thanks Matt, that's nice, appreciating the videos. Hi Janice, from Kent, right, local, that's good, yeah. So yeah, thought I would, during the next few days probably, this week maybe, get to work on the shoulder there. It's veg tan, nice bit of shoulder. And what I want to do is make a toolbox. Now, the tool sort of carry box, I want it to take, needless to say, a Kent pattern axe. So it's got to be quite long. That's for one of my bodging axes. So that's green woodworking that I do. And a box of some sort to take this, lunch and a few other things. But I mean, you could use this for anything. You could use it for like, I don't know, I've seen people use them for makeup bags right the way through to artist material bags. So what I'm going to show you could be used for anything. I've got some plans here which I'll flash them up now and then I'll try flashing them up later as well. Hope you can see that. Is it coming the wrong way around? Let's get my chat back. Yeah, thanks Peter. Yep, need good luck on this one. I'm just wondering, is that diagram reversed? Is what I'm sort of thinking. Hi Joan, you could actually take a sort of screen snap of this if you want the measurements that I'm using. If that is all coming out reversed. No, it's fine. Oh, that's great. Good. It's the right way. Thanks very much, Rachel. So yeah, I'm just thinking if people did want to use this, they could, sorry, it's a rather sort of scraggy drawing, but they could freeze frame it later on and then just print it off if they want to. But I'll show you a paper mock-up in a minute. And then this is like the cutting list, which again, I'll just come out a tad. So that's the cutting list for this toolbox. You need basically a bit of veg tan leather, which is 18 inches by 23 inches, and then a bit for straps and a bit for ends. So you don't have to use a huge amount of leather to get a very nice box out of it. I'll show you those again in a few minutes. So my chat keeps disappearing, so I will try and back again. That's good. Hi Johnny from Georgia, that's great. So this is what the box will look like. So what I tend to do is I make like a paper mock-up. And I know it looks a bit sort of odd at the moment. And this is really where I just want to say a few words about pattern making, because whenever I make something that I haven't made before, I actually sort of knock out a rough like paper pattern of it. And with this, I thought this looks too square and chunky. So what I'm going to do on the one I actually make is slope it in a bit more at the ends so that it's a bit narrower at the top. And then I got my handle lengths all wrong. So I thought, right, let's change the handle lengths as well. Hi, Mutant Customs. Good to see you. So it's really just by doing like a paper mock-up, you get sort of a bit of an idea. This will have two handle straps basically. And then it would have riveted handles and it would have a couple of cross straps to keep a canvas lid. I think this lid will be canvas on the final version. So the main body will be veg tan, but the lid will be canvas. And that keeps it light and keeps the sort of rain off the contents. And then I thought inside I could do like a row of canvas pockets. They could be leather, but I'll probably do canvas to keep the weight down. And that could be for things like your phone, your lunch, any small tools, anything really like that. So that's sort of what it will look like in very broad terms. You need a bit of imagination, I think, to sort of see what that is going to do. But the idea behind having the paper pattern is basically to get an idea of the size, so I can, you know, do things like check, will that fit in, and it does just about. And as I say, stylistically, what I thought I might do on the ends is use slightly thinner leather, but then double layer the leather on the actual ends. So my chat's going again, back it comes. That's good. Yeah, so I just thought I'd double reinforce at the ends, and then as tools move around in the bag, they'll sort of like hit the ends where it's got double layer of thickness. Now, you could obviously hand sew all of this, and it'd be a great project for some hand sewing, and it would be really good to get your saddle stitching up. I will probably be machining it, and I've been playing around with some sort of bits of leather sample. So what I'm doing here is just seeing, I thought I'd use this rather nice red bonded nylon in my machine, and I'm going to use my flatbed machine, my Juki, and see how that goes. Hi Clay, thanks for the message. So I thought, yeah, try this. So I've just been experimenting. I've never used heavy needles. I'll just swing my phone round and you can see the machine I'm talking about. So if I just swing this down a bit without making you too dizzy, that is the flatbed machine. It's a fairly strong one. It's a DNU 1541 by Juki. I've had this for a good number of years now, and I usually use it for light stuff like bags and wallets and things. But I've put a very heavy duty needle in it, and I've got this thread. I've got the specification for the thread, so I will just let you know what I'm using. So if you're in Europe, I'm using an NM15 thread, and if you're, just turn that, sorry, I think got lost there. No, not just you, Cody, sorry about that. Hopefully I'm back. Yep, it was me. Sorry, the stream got interrupted. Hopefully you can now get me back up. Am I back on? Are we streaming? Don't know. Oh great, I'm back. Thanks, Matt. Sorry about this. I've been having a bit of trouble with my laptop computer, which I was going to use for all of this. I had it cut out the other day, and I'm having to get a new battery for that. And to get the battery into the laptop, I've got to actually remove all of the screen and everything else. So I've got a battery coming, and hopefully I'll then get my normal camera up. I'm using a phone at the moment, so sorry, I'm not very familiar with live streaming off the phone, but I'll get there. So yeah, thread wise, as I say, I was going to use a size 15 thread if you're in Europe, a size 138 if you're in the States. The needle I'm using is quite a heavy duty again. It's a 140 if you're in Europe and a 28 if you're in the States. So heavy duty sewing, but as I say, you could sew this by hand very happily. There's not really a lot of sewing to do, because basically it's sewing the end and doing something about a canvas top for the bag. So a bit of sewing on there, a bit of sewing at the back to hold it. The rest you can rivet. You could rivet the ends if you wanted to, or it'd be quite nice just doing that as a hand sew, but I quite like using a machine, so I will, as I've got one there. And so that would be like the stitching I'm doing. I've been experimenting, so I've got some canvas left over from the coracle build. I probably will do a video of the making. Yeah, I might actually either do it as a series of live streams or do it as an actual, take my time and film it properly and do an actual video of the build. So I'm not really quite decided on that one quite yet. So yeah, and I've been trying, I thought I could even have a different colour leather for the top flap, so I've just been experimenting, seeing what I can do. So yeah, that's the sort of vague plan. Now the paper I'm using, you can get this like on the roll. And I've been using it to line the top of my workbench, and it's really useful because you can get it all mucky and it doesn't sort of matter. You just use it for a while, you can then recycle it. So that's the paper I'm using for the pattern making, and I just use like brown gum tape to then still stick my bits on. And oops, just catching the comments there. Hi Al from Montana, and I'm sorry, I just missed one I think on a tool bag. Can I get back down? Yes. This is Vanessa. I've been designing a tool bag the past several months. Nice of you showing us. That's great. Good. Yeah, we'll try and help. So yeah, this one, as I say, will have little straps on the top to hold the canvas down, and then to stop the canvas flapping around, I've got some little reinforcing bits going over there. So that's the sort of idea. Those won't be slit. I made a mistake of having my handles riveted too high on the bag. So I'm going to put the handles a lot lower on the body of the bag, and then I think that will give me enough space to have the flap come down. But I guess really what I'm sort of trying to say is I've made a few mistakes in working up this prototype, and I'd far rather do it in leather than do it in paper. So that's really why I knock things up in paper first. And also I find, I mean, it's different for everyone, but I like to see a physical object and know roughly what the sizes look like. So if it's done in paper, you can start to think, yeah, that looks okay, or it's a bit too, you know, long or a bit the wrong height, and you get a bit of a feel for it. So I've written sort of notes for myself all over it to try and remind me as I come to make it. So I'll just flash that pattern up again. So that's roughly what the bag looks like dimension wise. So you can do a screen grab of this later on. And then that's the cutting list with the straps, the ends, and it's one bit of leather I'm going to use mainly to do a bit of wet moulding to actually shape the U shape of the bag. I want the bag to be fairly sort of rigid, so I'm hoping using the thick leather it will work out quite nice and rigid. If I just get a thickness gauge, I can show you, hopefully. Just see the comments coming through. Hello Mick, fishing and other adventures, looks great, thanks so much. So I've got a little thickness gauge. People ask me where you get these from. You can get them on eBay, basically, very cheaply, and they're really useful for leather craft because I find it quite sort of difficult sometimes. I look at a bit of leather and think, oh, that's roughly that thickness or whatever, but you can just, when you're buying leather in a shop as well, you can just look and just check. You just put that down and you get a little thickness reading in millimeters, and that's roughly, obviously the hide will vary across its thickness, but this is a shoulder. It's obviously quite a good economical way of buying leather as a shoulder. So for something like a tool bag, if it has a few scars, a few knocks, it really doesn't matter at all. So that's the sort of plan. That's something I'll be doing. So perhaps some of you might like to have a go at doing something similar, and hopefully you can grab off the plans. If you're having trouble getting the plans at all, grabbing them, let me know and I'll try and do something else about it. But, yeah, hello Alchemist, good to catch you as well. It's good getting the comments. I quite like the lives from the point of view that you get a few comments coming up. So if you want to ask me anything, do. I need to get better at this because at the moment I seem to be losing the comments as they come through sometimes. And Johnny, yeah, welcome as well. And I'm going to show how I'm going to make the bag, either as a filming it sort of start to finish, or I'll do a few more lives and put up bits every now and again. It's difficult with all of this sort of COVID and isolation going on. In a way, rather than spend hours trying to edit up a video, it's quite nice just making a contact with people. If they want to look at the live stream later on, they can, but it's a little bit more interactive, which is quite good fun. But I do need to get my computer fixed first. There, wasn't it? You know, I hope you're all getting some good projects. If you want to ask anything quickly before I sign off, please do, and I'll just get these comments coming back in. So, hey Clay, that's good. I hope you're all keeping okay, everyone. I mean, I'm in the UK here, and we're basically all trying to stay at home and basically not put the strain on the NHS. So I'm lucky I've got a strip of garden, so I can walk up and down the garden. But it is very difficult for people at the moment on a whole host of fronts. Obviously, one's worried about people, and there's a lot going on. So I've got a mum in a care home, and I don't think things are looking terribly good for her at the moment. And that's life, isn't it? I know everyone's got different problems and different worries at the moment. That's unfortunately the situation we're all in, but we can make the best of it, and in our little off moments enjoy a bit of leather working. So I think that's probably it on the bag. I'll keep you posted as to how it goes, one way or the other. I've got an Instagram if you do want to have a look, and I'm Bucklehurst Leather on Instagram, so you can catch your pictures there as well. Hi Cody, glad to catch the last end. That's good. Thanks so much. I'll keep safe. I'm sort of isolating, so hopefully be all right. And it's all very tricky for everyone at the moment. Still, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you up in the next live, and hopefully I'll get a bit better at all of this. Okay then, bye bye.